I hope everyone's having a great evening. I'm Mr. Ish. We're looking here at the derivation of the midpoint formula, a very important formula of coordinates geometry. We know what the formula is and we'll get to it at the end of the video. We're showing you how we derive this formula. Look right here at this XY axis plane. We're focusing here on the first quadrant. If you have a specific point, we'll call this P1. We have another point, we'll call this P2. We connect them, we've generated a segment P1 to P2. The segment is made. P1 happens to have these XY coordinates, we can call them X1 and Y1. P2 happens to have X2 and Y2. I'm not putting in the comma signs over here because then it'll get a little messy. But that's exactly our segment. We need to determine the midpoint. What's the middle of this? It doesn't matter the orientation of your segment. It could be of any diagonal, any angle. The formula is always the same. And why is that the case? You're going to look at the determination here with regards to a horizontal and a vertical, but not with regards to a diagonal line. You're going to decompose your diagonal line into a horizontal line and a vertical line. You can do so exactly like this. You've gotten your horizontal and here you've gotten your vertical. Now you're going to examine the horizontal and the vertical line separately. Look at the value over here. You got an x1 and y1. Here you have, for this value right here, you have a x2 and you have a y2. What must be the point over here? It must be x2 and y1. Think about it. We've moved from x1 to x2 and then we move from y1 to y2, and that's the coordinate pair. Let's identify this horizontal line as h, identify the vertical line as v. If you're looking at the horizontal line, the reference points which are relevant here are x1 and x2. When you're looking at the vertical line, the points which are relevant here are basically y1 and you're looking here at y2. Those are your relevant points. Now when you're talking about the midpoint, you're talking about like an average of the 2 points. The two values are added and you do the average of those. You get an x1 plus x2 over 2. Here you get a y1 plus y2 over 2 because you're finding the middle. The middle here refers to a midpoint average. The sum of the both values divided by 2. The reason why this technique works is this. When you're looking at this horizontal segment, you're determining its middle point, which might very well be here. You bring it right up here to the top. When you're looking at this vertical line, you determine its middle point. It may be right here. You take it across right over here. This is the reference here with regards to the middle of your horizontal, middle of the vertical. So this ends up being your midpoint. So this derivation procedure, by taking the diagonal and converting it to horizontal and a vertical and examining each of those separately, works. Now that you've gotten this and now that you've gotten this, you write your midpoint formula in exactly in an xy coordinate pair way. That's going to be your x1 plus x2 over 2, your x value right here of your midpoint, and this here will be your y1 plus y2 divided by 2, your y value of your midpoint. And there it is. The formula has been derived. But again, the most crucial part here is to view a diagonal as a horizontal separately and a vertical line separately, and you examine those independently. And the examination is here before you, and you can see how everything works very well here with regards to the midpoint. The middle of your horizontal, your middle of your vertical, create the midpoint of your entire segment, and the video ends with that. Thank you for watching. Have a nice day.